I'm back. Sorry I've been gone so long, but as some of you know, I was trying a case in San Diego. We did well, got a $993,000 judgment with interest now and fees and so on. It's going to be over $1 million. And my client, who was treated very unfairly, is, I think, pleased with the result. So this is quick. I've said that before, but this time I actually mean it. I like to give those of you who ever watch this some insight that you're not going to get from the mainstream media or the right-wing media. You're not going to get. I like to look at things and say, well, maybe, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but just maybe there's another factor, something else going on here that nobody thought of. So I'm thinking to myself, Ed, why in the hell are there a bunch of Army helicopters flying around Reagan Airport? I fly in airports all over the world. The only time I ever see helicopters is when I'm flying into Reagan. And I usually don't see those because I usually fly in at night. And it's a beautiful, approach coming along, along the river there, and it's quite beautiful. But there's helicopters all over the place. Why in the hell are there helicopters? That was my first question. Not was it flying too low, flying too high, were the instruments off, were there diversity, equity, and inclusion the reason for all of this, which is one of the most asinine things anybody's ever said. No, the more fundamental question is, why were helicopters there in the first place? And these aren't like civilian helicopters like you find in Palm Beach. No, these are Army helicopters. Military helicopters flying all around, in and around civilian aircraft. Civilian airliners, not just private aircraft, flying right up near them. Supposedly the flight path of this helicopter was supposed to be 200 feet below the civilian jetliner. Why in the world do they have an Army helicopter flying 200 feet, which is nothing, right below you when you're sitting on an airplane, all happy and everything, polishing off your drinks and all ready to come down and then go do who knows what, go to the Smithsonian Museum or whatever, and flying right under you with full permission, and everything is perfectly normal about a helicopter flying 200 feet right below you. I might add, fully armed helicopter. So why? Well, I figured it out. They are there to shoot down civilian airliners. That's why they're there. Because of 9/11. Because of 9/11. Civilian airliner flew into the Pentagon, and those powers that be have made the determination that, hey, if once again we see an airliner headed for the Pentagon, we got helicopters that are going to blow it out of the sky. If we see an airliner headed for the Congress or the White House, we've got all of these helicopters, and they're going to blow that plane right out of the sky. That's why they're there. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the government comes clean and says, yeah, they're there to blow you out of the sky in case somebody takes over and hijacks your plane. We're not going to do anything to save you. We're going to save all the politicians and the military and everybody else, which is maybe inappropriate. But it doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when I'm on a plane flying into Reagan Airport, knowing that if something were to happen there, or somebody even thinks something's going to happen, they're going to blow this plane up. Our people are going to blow up this plane. And that's why they were flying 200 feet away, so that they could do something immediately if it looked like this was a threat. Now, I never heard of that from anybody. I didn't hear anybody even say, hey, how come there's so many of these helicopters flying around? I've not heard anybody on TV or the radio or among my cadre of friends and acquaintances. No one has raised that question. I'm the only one who's raised it, and I've only raised it to myself. And I'm the only one I know who's answered it. Maybe my answer is completely wrong, but I think you're going to find out that I'm right on this one.